Hello everyone, and welcome back to Satisfactory. Or no, this time. So I'm going to do another sort of world tour, but it's not going to be quite as exciting or as far along as my previous tours. Because as you can see in the top right corner there, I haven't actually built the space elevator yet. As you can see, I've researched just about everything up to as far as I can in Tier 2, but just for kind of a challenge run, kind of just to see if I could. Just wanted to see how far you could get without having unlocked Tier 3 and coal power and all those other fun stuff. So I've got a basic base here in the Dune Desert area, just for a change since I haven't been here before. Over here I've got a general bio processing facility, so just dump off stuff in here, and then it just goes through and auto sorts everything and processes it. Turns most of it into biomass, which goes to the next building over, and then outputs fabric and any slugs that I drop off get turned into these. They've been slooped up, so it's getting the maximum it possibly can. In here it says the bioburner facility. I've got 2 levels of bioburners. This is actually kind of what prompted the idea of doing this kind of challenge run, because now that can actually automate the biomass, you can actually spend a lot more time at this stage than you used to be able to. Like most everyone else in previous updates, I just sort of rushed coal power as fast as I could. This time around, because these are automatable, that wasn't as important. So yeah, just a nice little facility. Got a nice backlog of biomass, and just whenever I'm out exploring, I can just pick up some more. Obviously, there's a lot of resources I can't construct with only being at Tier 2. So what I've been doing is sort of bridging the gap by exploring around, collecting up things next to the hard drives. So I've got a little Caterium facility over there as well. Navigating around is actually pretty reasonable with the parachute. And if we look through the MAM, you can see you can actually research quite a lot of stuff. A few things I haven't bothered to research, a few things I would like to research, like these faster speeds and things, but I can't afford it. Biggest challenge with researching these things is making this stuff. It's actually the steel pipes that are the main constraint on that. Go through a surprisingly large number of those, and I can't actually make them at the moment, so I've just have to go by whatever I can find next to the hard drives, and also from my little doggo's water here. Basically go through here. Got a little pathway over there that goes all the way to the doggo cave, so every so often I go over there and pick up a couple. But let's just go back to the MAM and have a quick look through. So a pretty decent way around down this tree, down these trees. Actually max out this tree quite easily. Yeah, some of these later things require things that I can't get, or just too expensive. Some of them are things that there's no point in getting, like there's not really much point in getting a lot of these extra guns and things, because they require stuff I don't have access to. I did manage to build one of these though. Only one. I definitely can't afford any more than one. And I've also managed to build, if we go over this way, this is the other good way to get around once you built a few power poles. Sometimes I miss. yeah, so I've managed to build one geyser thing as well. Again, I couldn't afford more than the one, but both of those things put together has given me a reasonably decent power capacity, as you can see. This goes down to 1,000 or so, yeah, 1,700. At the moment, because of mostly, only recently got these in and was mostly running off biomass, I didn't want to have the most of the base running time, so off the early resources, this is the only one that I managed to stick one of these on. I can actually afford a few more, but concrete is actually really the only thing that I desperately need out in the world. The other stuff not so much. Probably could have done it for plates as well, but it's usually not too hard to have enough of those on hand. Yes, other than that, off in the distance there I've got a factory making rotors. It's got a nice little tower there. You can see filled in a fair amount of the map around here, and this is all the area I've often been exploring for hard drives and things. More importantly, the collectibles near the hard drives, so filled in a good chunk of the map along both these directions, but there's a significant chunk over on this way that I haven't even been to yet, so potentially I could have spent a bit more time gathering even more resources and get even further through the game, but I think I've already got to the point where I've researched just about everything I can with the available resources. I've got quite a few hard drives. These are the recipes I didn't bother unlocking, and I've got a whole bunch of extra hard drives that I just haven't can't even scan for more stuff anymore. I've already got the thing. You can see in here, these are all the extra resources that and I've got quite a few things in the Dimensional Depot as well, just from wandering around the world collecting things. And yeah, I think the main reason why I think I'm going to stop this now and go and build the space elevator soon is that we're now entering Ficsmas season, and I very much doubt I'll be able to get much progress through that without getting the ability to make steel things. So I guess we'll see. I'll try and play through the early parts of Ficsmas without it and see how long I last, but otherwise, yeah. So yeah, just set a little bit of a fun challenge. You can get quite far. I guess the one thing I haven't shown off yet is some shop. I've unlocked most stuff in here. Not everything, but most of the things you can actually unlock. There's a few other things that I would like to unlock, but sadly they don't show up until later tiers. These are actually quite handy getting these from the shop. I got a few of those just to get around and collect some of the things that were buried. I didn't want to actually... I can construct these, but I didn't want to because they use steel pipes, and steel pipes are much more needed to build the SAM stuff instead. But again, I think that's at the limit of these things. You need to go and get some more sloops and a lot more of that SAM ore stuff, so that's a pain in the butt. So yeah, I think all up this is about 50 hours a save. So it's mostly just for the fun of it, see how far I could get, and Ficsmas coming, I think that's about it. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll make another video later on. Have fun!